Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Women of CIBN series. I'm your host, Tif Loeffler, Positively Yours. Today, I am with the incandescent Donna Dahl. She is a leadership coach extraordinaire. Yes, I am going to add that. Donna, I am thrilled. I don't want to pop out my audio by going, I'm so excited to have you here. And I love that we are going to jump right in and talk about the tortoise and the hare. I cannot wait. Everybody, get ready. Donna, thank you for being here. Take it away. The stage is yours.
Thank you, Tif, for inviting me to be here with you. This is very special. And you asking about the tortoise and the hare is also very special. As a leadership coach, sometimes we find that leaders come in all shapes and sizes and arrive for different reasons. The tortoise arrived somewhat quite by accident, not even necessarily deliberately, but his buttons were pushed. And so, through the course of events, of course we know he won the race and became a sort of surprise leader, if you will. As an entrepreneur, I'm not sure that we necessarily think about ourselves as leaders. You know, a few years back, Carrie George with CIBN hosted a conference, a full day of speakers talking about leadership in the role of entrepreneurship. And I had an opportunity to speak there. In fact, it gave me a chance to showcase two of my books. Not only lessons I learned from the tortoise, but also empowering the leader within you. As a leadership coach, I like to work with what comes with you from within in terms of how you lead. As an entrepreneur, you are a natural leader. You're leading the product or the service that you're providing. You're leading others to share in what you have to offer. Would you like to talk about some of those things, Tif?
I would. Thank you so much, because the thought of why don't we think of ourselves as leaders? Just when you said that, I was just like, wait a minute. I'm like drawn into this. And through the lens of a woman in business, why is that a struggle? Or whatever other part you wanted to talk about, because I still struggle with it and I don't know where that comes from. There could be many
One
things.
of the chapters, in fact, the first chapter in my book, Lessons I Learned, says it's okay to be first. So it reminds me of the saying that says, what if you didn't? Then who would? So if what you're going to do is own the space, you may need to be the first to own it. So how you show up teaches everyone what this persona is about, how this is represented. Your choice deserves to be deliberate. And I know that with you, Tif, you have a deliberate way of showing up. You've taught the world that this is Tif. When she shows up like this on camera, on screen, this is who she is.
guess I hadn't thought about that in that way. Tell me more about the showing up, women in business showing up, why it's so, we just have to.
Well, if we look at the foundation of trust, one element of trust, a big element of trust, is that business of alignment. If you went to an automobile dealership and someone started chatting with you, you would be consciously or unconsciously measuring whether or not what they say is something you can believe. Do they walk the walk? Do they talk the talk? If something feels off, the chances are you're going to walk away. So if the foundation of trust comes from that alignment of how you show up, what you say, and how you practice what you are preaching, you are going to be able to command trust easily.
The word trust, that is such a deep word. How do you help your clients develop that trust?
One of the things that I do is keep eye contact as much as possible with people that I work with. That eye contact says, I'm listening. I care about what you have to say. I care about the presence of you when you share. Trust is also a matter of other invisibles like keeping your word. So if you say you're going to show up, do you show up? If you say you're going to do something, do you do it? So trust is not responsibility of the client. Trust is the responsibility, or building that trust is the responsibility of you, the leader.
I feel that's something that we needed to hear. Thank you. That it is our responsibility. We simply can't hire it out. It's got to be us. If I could ask, and I don't want to frame it as a challenge or a problem, but what do you see in leadership in business, women in particular? Where is there a disconnect or an obstacle in the way of that trust that keeps them from being an effective leader? Is it, I know it's, is it them? Is it us? I know it's both, but what combination do you see? I hope that's not too crazy a question. I'm just curious.
It's a great question. No matter what walk of life we're in, there are going to be expectations. There are going to be limitations. There are going to be belief systems. The thing is that one of the first things that you're going to do when you step into the role is to choose the persona. And part of that persona is choosing the look on your face, choosing your smile, choosing just how you show up. Never mind what you wear or how you walk. If what you do when you enter a networking room is walk so that your shoulders are sort of slumped and your upper body is pointing forward, that's a different stance than someone who walks upright with shoulders square. So the first rule, in answer to your question, I think needs to be to show up being the character, holding that space for the person that you want to show up as. So if you're showing up as the CEO or the president of your company, What does that look like? And what it looks like for you, is that the same as what others expect of you, and how to look that part, so that there is alignment. As I said before, when the alignment isn't present, people will look at the person who is selling health food products and want to see a healthy face, want to see a healthy body. Someone who is a hairdresser may want to show up looking kempt, looking polished, looking chic or demure, whatever their personality sort of says about, this is how I treat my role in the profession.
I love that. Ugh. And it is so true. And yet, now I'm looking at it through the lens of that persona is important, because it is, I almost want to say it is who we truly are, but we just get in our own way sometimes.
Yes, sometimes we do. And you can say, well, it's okay if I show up in my blue jeans, or it's okay if I show up in my t-shirt. Maybe it is okay. But does it align with what it is that you're wanting to communicate? Because probably 75% of the communication that takes place as a result of what people see before they hear anything.
Everyone, this is a confirmation to me that I am so grateful that, and this happened at the last CIBN summit, I realized, Donna, and thank you for, I'm using myself as an example. I always like to have my hair up, flower in, I've got some makeup on, but I always just wore a t-shirt. And at that past summit, I thought, I need to step this up, because and now I do that more. And I guess I appreciate so much, and I want the ladies and the guys who are watching this, but we're talking about women in business. Was it really in alignment? Like t-shirt, like I'm kind of a casual girl, but like you said, if you're showing up as the owner of your business, how are you appearing? So thank you for that. I'm so grateful to have this conversation and to feel into how important it is. This is because I feel more trustworthy, because I feel better wearing a lovely top than just throwing on a t-shirt at the last minute. Oh, who really cares? It's online. That is just not the attitude of gratitude. So thank you. I suppose at this point, everybody, I want to say, look, this is why I am so excited that I'm doing this series. And I want you to subscribe to CIBN TV on YouTube. And then you're going to have this incredible library, including this interview series. And now, Donna, I wonder if I could ask, and if you need a moment, but because I'm excited about business. I'm excited about women in business. I'm excited we are in 2026, but it doesn't matter what time of life you're in, being in your business, there are always going to be people who say this is the worst time to be in business for XYZ, and there's the best time to be in business for XYZ. And I just feel it really is a choice. And what are you choosing to be excited about right now in your business?
That's a great question. Thanks, Tif. What I'm really excited about in this at this particular time is my Leadership Alignment Index. This is a tool that I've been working on in order to help people find out where it is that their strengths are when it comes to leadership. So if, for instance, there are gaps between what you're intending to do and what you're able to accomplish, or what you're intending to do and the impact that you want to have, I invite you to take the Leadership Alignment Index. The connection or the link for this is on the screen. It will give you some personal insights into how it is you lead and where your strengths are. People always want to talk about deficits. I want to talk about strengths, because we're never always going to do better necessarily in those areas that are our weakness. That's not to say we shouldn't work on them, but building our strengths even better and stronger and higher can't be something that you should be ignoring. So take the index. If you wish, book an opportunity to go through the profile with me once you've had a chance to do that. It gives you 30 minutes free of my time just because you participated. I'm hoping to be able to collect some data about entrepreneurs and leadership as a result of your participation. So I invite you to do that. And in addition to that, I've created a staged process in case that taking leadership coaching is something for you. The index is going to help you to discover more about where your gaps are. The work through my core program gives you an opportunity to clarify to build your communication and establish yourself in your leadership role. Following that, I have a 12-week program that's called the Ascendant Leader to help you to polish and build upon those strengths that you already have. So it's if this is the worst time to be in business, maybe that's the time to be working on some of those inner strength things that will help you to blossom forth when you're feeling more ready. Maybe you'll carve out a little bit of time in the background in order just to be able to build a little higher, build a little stronger.
Oh, I love what you said there. Thank you so much. And everybody, sorry I got a little button crazy and you just saw my face and not Donna's. I was like, wait, no, put Donna back on. Okay, thank you I have never heard it this way before. What if it was, quote unquote, the worst time for you for business, either through a circumstance or you're trying to get in I love that you said we're simply going to then work on something within us. And I love that attitude of, you know what, it's okay. I wonder how many people stop, are stuck because of something that isn't quite right. And then they decide, well, this just isn't the right time. But I feel like it can always be the right time.
Well, when I first started working as a coach, I developed my Stuck to Start in 90 Minutes consult for clarity. I still sell that option today. Why? Because time is money. And with entrepreneurs, it is so important to be able to find not necessarily a quick fix, but something that just moves you over a hurdle or lets you get out of a rut that has been holding you back. So, Stuck to Start in 90 minutes, is that possible? I've had people just shake their heads and say, you can't do that. Well, I've also had those that have gone from Stuck to Start in the first 5 minutes of our 90-minute conversation. And then the other 85 were a bonus.
Oh, I love this. That is so epic. Okay, I want to do that. Okay, I'm very intrigued. I would love if you would be so kind as to talk a little bit about clarity. And I'm asking for a friend and myself as well. I am working with a friend and we are working on our clarity. And when you said something about that quick fix, yes, we've done that in the past. Ladies and gentlemen, how many of us have, I want the quick fix, so I'll either buy a program or sign up with someone, but I don't have the clarity. I end up not doing it, then I feel bad. Donna, could you touch upon how important it is? And I want to also say clarity, is that perfection? Because I always feel like clarity means I have to be so crystal clear, 24/7, 100%. What does clarity mean to you as far as what do you need to be clear on in your business in order to thrive and not just try to survive?
Well, as a personal example,
Thank you.
if I said to you, Tif, I would really like it if I would be able to come over to your house for dinner. Would you serve me dinner? And you would go, oh yeah, that's cool. But if I neglected to tell you that I have some dietary issues that I need addressed so that you would be able to successfully feed me, then I wasn't clear on what I needed to say. Asking for what we want is probably the most difficult thing that we experience. So to say to somebody, can I have some ice cream, is not nearly the same as saying, do you have chocolate ice cream? So we can think that we're being clear, but maybe what we didn't do was put the cherry on top to make it explicitly clear. If for instance, I simply said I was a leadership coach, that's probably not enough, because my leadership coaching includes your inner coach and includes a strategic element to that. So if you introduced me earlier as Leadership Coach Extraordinaire, I take that on with a great deal of gratitude. Thank you, Tif, because I'm dealing with so many different pieces. Having clarity with describing who I am is one thing. Having clarity with asking for what I want is another thing. So sometimes the issue of communication is that we're writing an email, but we neglect to actually say exactly what it is that we want. So I might say at the end of my email, I look forward to your reply before Friday, is much more specific than I look forward to your reply. What are the parameters that you need to express in terms of asking for what you want?
Oh, that is, I have a counter thought. And I have a question on this. And I'm so excited to be talking with you. Oh my gosh. And this, just one more time, I want to say, everyone, this is why you need to subscribe to CIBN TV. Please, because you want to make sure that you're not missing stuff like the incredible Donna. Donna, here's my counter thought. Why is it that I want to be vague? I know that I should be clear, but I'm afraid I'll be rejected if I'm clear. Maybe that's it. Like I'm trying. Do you see a pattern, or is there something you can touch on with the, I know I should be clear, but I don't want to because I'll be rejected, or something bad will happen, and I just wonder if you have a thought on that.
There are several ways that I could respond to that, Tif. One is that if fear is a factor and you're wanting to meet with someone, what if you said, I would love to meet with you. Would Tuesday or Wednesday be better? Instead of going after a yes or no answer, why not offer a choice? Would that work for you, Tif?
Yes, I see that. Wednesday. Since we're talking on a Wednesday. That is interesting. Oh my gosh. I feel my mind is increasingly going, because that clarity doesn't have to, I think in my mind thinking clarity had to be yes or no. It had to be, this or that. I have never connected it before, and I'm excited now about the clarity comes through offering someone a choice. And beyond that, I'm not feeling such a negative, like, oh, but what if they say, it's like, no, you're offering them a choice. As opposed to you need a yes or no answer. And if it's no, that's a bad thing. But there's your clarity. Good job.
The other side of it is that there have been a number of books that have been written about no. And so to investigate what no means may help you to lose the fear of rejection. So does no mean not on that day, or does no mean not now? May I call you in 6 months? Help me understand your no.
I feel I have to repeat that for all of us in the back row. It's okay to say, help me understand the no. You're just, because you're not coming at it from anything other than curiosity, professional curiosity. I feel that that's professional. And thank you. As women in business, being a leader, you get to take leadership of their response, but you don't have to take on a no as you would in the past. I just think this is mind-blowing. Thank you.
Investigating the meaning of the no, setting up an opportunity for yourself to continue the conversation is always what we want as entrepreneurs. I read, there was a number that showed up somewhere this week that said it takes about 211 days for someone to be converted from a no to a yes. So if you only ask once, you're never going to get to day 211.
That seems like a lot. I feel that's daunting. Oh.
We're not necessarily driven to go rah rah sis boom bah, yep, I'm going to do business with you today, right now. And so think of it as courtship. If we're going to be courted as women, we expect that courtship to take place over a period of time. We expect to be treated with respect, with dignity, with kindness, all through that period, because there's an objective going on here with the intention of creating a long-term relationship. Isn't that what we want as entrepreneurs? Long-term relationships, repeat business. Women who want to come back to us, or even men for that matter who do business with us, who keep coming back, who refer their friends to us. So, in the interests of building our business, would it work for you to treat each contact, each connection that you make as the beginning of a courtship?
That sounds meaningful. It sounds like a lot of work, and it's important. That's what popped in my head. It's important, instead of just trying to collect as many. I don't know what you've heard in the clients that you deal with. I'm like, oh my gosh, look at the time, but I still have a few minutes. Yay. Trying to get as many contacts as possible, trying to be with as many people as possible, what is your approach to creating your community, your clientele?
I'm not about volume, I'm about value. The value that I bring is what matters most. when I'm providing value to my clients, it's going to provide me with testimonials. I currently have over 60 testimonials of my work on LinkedIn. There are more than 25 reviews of my book, Lessons I Learned from the Tortoise, on Amazon. There are, it's that affirmation, I guess, from my clients that helped to inform me that I was on the right track with each and every one of them singularly. So I don't think that there's a single formula for success any more than there is a successful single formula for leadership. It's something that is individual, based on our own uniqueness, our own strengths, our own resources, our own skill set, our own training that we bring to the forefront in terms of what we have chosen to do, leading the pack in our entrepreneurship role.
I love it. I love it. And now I feel like that full circle of your book, Lessons I Learned from the Tortoise, maybe one of the reflections I want to sit with after this conversation. I don't want it to end. Are you treating it like, there's the tortoise and the hare. Is the hare the one that's, I need to get all of these clients and I need to hop around and I don't want to deal with my own stuff and I'm going to be busy. I'm going to fill up my time with, instead of that methodical intention. I think the word intention is coming up for me. Am I on the right track?
I really like that you're bringing that forward. We don't want to necessarily think negatively of the hare. If you're leading a team and your team is completely full of tortoises, that's going to be a very different team than the team that is completely filled of people who would have a more hare-like approach to doing things. So if we can have a balance of tortoises and hares in our teams, we will have those who are gung-ho, ready, enthusiastic, motivated, ready to jump in. And we will have those who are more thoughtful, intentional, moving a little more slowly. Sometimes that's shown up in Myers-Briggs with whether you're an introvert or an extrovert. Sometimes it's the go-getters who get at things quickly and get things done. They're the first to get to the finish line, are the ones that are going to have the most success. Everybody else is a copycat. Doesn't really matter. The point is, are you showing up as you? Are you showing up authentically? Are you showing up in a way that aligns with how you operate in your space and how you speak? Are you showing up in a way that supports your customers, your clients, building trust as a strong foundation for you to build on?
I have so loved this conversation. Oh, it's been incredible. And I did pop up your LinkedIn profile. Everyone, this is going to be in the description. I highly recommend you connect with Donna on LinkedIn. And also, the QR code has been up, and I hope you click on it because it's going to take you to the Leadership Index. Now, you have given us so many gems. I am going to ask the final question. Is there something that people don't normally ask about you, about your work, that you would like people to know about your work? Either, the clients that you connect with, a particular methodology. I want to give you a moment on that while I just, first of all, thank you again and invite everyone to either take your phone and grab that QR code, but if you are on your phone, no worries. In the description, we are going to have how to connect with Donna. But Donna, yes, is there something that you want, a gem that you wanted to end us with that maybe most people don't ask? Something that you just love to tell people, besides all the other wonderful things you've told us?
In my book, Lessons I Learned from the Tortoise, in the afterword, you will find this quote: "Challengers inspire us to take giant steps long before we might ever become giants." I trust that you have a challenger who might cause you to take giant steps. And if you don't, I'm open to have the job.
Yes, that's my answer to that. That's my response. Oh, Donna, you truly are a leadership coach extraordinaire. I have so enjoyed this conversation. Thank you for sharing this with this group, this incredible group at CIBN. Thank you for mentioning Carrie George, our CEO. She's fabulous. And just thank you for being so clear and intentional. And thank you for all of the wonderful sharing you've done. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Just had to say that.
My pleasure.
And everyone, I've got that up one more time for her. Definitely check out her leadership index, and she has generously offered to meet with you. I'm going to hop on that bandwagon. And well, this is the time that I say, on behalf of everyone at the Women of CIBN series, I'm Tif Loeffler, positively yours. I want to thank you, Donna Dahl, so much for being here today. And I invite everyone to join us for the next interview. See you next time. Bye, everybody.